The following is a presentation of the BellyUpSports Media Network.
The ball sends it over to Edward. Robles, go! InsertName FC! Let's go, InsertName FC! What is up, everybody? My name is Hector Flores, host of the InsertName FC podcast, a member of the BellyUpSports Media Network, and you can also catch us on Spotify, YouTube, and of course, GolzTV, the Hulu of soccer content. Joining me, as always, is my best friend and the other host of the show. Can't see his face, but you can see the beautiful InsertName FC logo on him, Edward Robles.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, man. So, Avenged Sevenfold was literally everything that I ever wanted in a concert.
Is it everything that you ever wanted and more?
Dude, it was euphoric. Like, it was like literally the best thing to it's funny because I actually had to do like an installment plan to get the tickets because like I was like, I'm gonna get the VIP ticket. Like, you know.
Oh, nice.
So, which I will say, if I had to say one thing about the whole concert of itself, the VIP it's all right. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing, but like it was cool. I mean, so the benefits of being in the VIP is obviously so they let us go into this room. It had like, you know, like bass and guitars used from the band. Would have been cool. There was like Rev's drum set or something that would have been pretty nice. But I can also see how that could be a big liability. But and then they had like, you know, these like little ornaments and things that Avenged Sevenfold. They had like their albums, you know, like placards and stuff like that. You know, like all like some of the awards that Avenged Sevenfold has accomplished over the years. So that was pretty cool. So I mean, it was cool, but I'm just like, it's kind of like that's it, you know what I mean? But then obviously you also got like access to so you didn't have to go outside to go to like the merchandise store. You can just go in there and you had like your own private merchandise store. And then I mean the bar was also nice to have, but yeah, aside from that, like I wouldn't have said like it now knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have gotten that VIP ticket,
Mm-hmm.
but. I mean, still, it was worth it. It was cool. It was a cool experience. Great show. Falling in Reverse was awesome. I've listened to a few of their songs. I never saw them live. That was the dude puts on a good show. Like overall, Avenged Sevenfold did a great show. I was super happy to experience that concert, and I met some really cool people. So
That's good, bro. Sounds like you had fun.
Yep, lots and lots of fun. I'm gonna think about that instead of not thinking about the Astros, who are currently down 2-0 in their series with the Rangers in the LCS.
Man, bro, they were catching up though at the bottom of the eighth. Like they were catching up.
Yeah, Jordan hits a freaking home run off of Chapman. I was like, oh man, this is it. And yeah, no. So they ended up losing 5-4. Which obviously you guys know we record on Monday, so they lost 5-4 on Monday.
Oh man!
And so we'll see. They're going to Arlington now to go play 3 games, or possibly 3 games. And who knows? Who knows what could happen? So hope maybe when this episode drops, maybe same thing like happened last time when the Astros lost. Next thing you know, they end up winning that series anyways. So we'll see what happens, man. But I mean, what the Astros are doing obviously is like crazy. Not many baseball teams can say they accomplished what the Astros are doing, which is 7 straight seasons to make it to the semifinal or better. That's honestly pretty crazy when you're talking about a 162 game season. But yeah, but still, it's like right now it's super exciting in Houston right now because the Dynamo are going to the playoffs. Obviously the Astros are in the playoffs. Maybe it's not exciting right now. The Texans are looking amazing. Because now they have a quarterback that's not a deviant. So yeah, that's great. But yeah, so it's really cool. But aside from that, dude, Avenged Sevenfold was awesome. Edward, did you do anything cool this past weekend?
Well, I went to. Well, this made me feel old, and when I say it, it makes me feel old. But I went to my niece's wedding because we all know that Hector has two young nieces. I have a niece who apparently is in her 20 somethings, and she just got married. Nice guy. What I noticed though, because of where they're from, it's a small town. It's in Bastrop and everything. So they're like country, and I don't want to say country, but like even the Hispanics over there are very country. So like the whole thing, it was like very Mexicanish, country-ish, and literally I think
Are we
they
talking
play
about
like
pointy boots, or we're talking about like the square
no
toes?
country, like square toes and
Okay.
like yeah, square toes and to the point where I was talking to people in Spanish and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like,
Oh man, we're talking about like fifth generation.
yeah, yeah. And then even the pastor, bro, like the pastor looked like he was of I want to say maybe 50s, 60s. Homeboy was wearing blue jeans at the reception, or not the reception, but at the actual wedding. He was wearing his vest and everything, but he was wearing blue jeans and boots. And I was like, okay. I
That's
was
pretty
like, all right,
Texas.
that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty Texas.
So yeah, I mean,
we
it'd be
don't
cool. It was
shame
cool.
we don't shame the super into Americanized generations of Latin people. You're still Hispanic, obviously. We're not going to judge your Hispanicness, but it
As
is
long as you don't come out to me and say, "Oh, you can't call me Hispanic. I'm Latinx," because I'll be like, "Why?" Like
yeah,
I'm just gonna say,
Latinx. I've so far all the people I've met, I've never met a single person that says refer me as Latinx. So
"Yeah,
but yeah, no, I think also like but aside from that, like the thing that I think people don't understand, especially when you have like generation on generation of like people that
mm-hmm.
live here in the U.S., like you do become more Americanized. I mean, me and Edward are first generations. Like we're the first born here in the U.S. from our family, and so like it's a little different because obviously we still have like our parents who are still very solid. Actually, you meet Edward's parents; they're as Salvadorian as it could be. Um, but but then obviously me and Edward we have the Salvadoran side that we're very close connected to, and then obviously we're American, so we have like those two things. But like obviously, as I'm sure once Edward has more generations and generations of more Robleses,
Man, I'm over here trying to push Spanish on them because these little dudes only talk English."
yeah, I mean Emma's pretty hard headed about speaking Spanish. She knows what you're saying. That's the funny
Yeah,
part.
but it's
Like
just
she
it's
knows
funny.
exactly what you're saying. She just responds in English.
Yep, that's
But
exactly my kids right now, and I'm just like, we about to talk. Vamos a hablar español. Dime palabras en español. Or when they're like, Daddy, could I have some apple juice? And I'm like, ¿Cómo se dice en español? Uh, Daddy, quiero jugo manzana. And I'm like, oh, that's a first. I was like,
yeah,
I was
close
like, I'll
enough.
let that one slide. Yeah, I was like, close enough. I was like, oh man.
Quiero vengar.
I guess I'm raising a bunch of little Hectors over here.
Hey, I panned out fine. But yeah, man. So Edward enjoyed a wedding. Had to see his 20 plus year old niece.
Niece
Also, you
get
got
married.
Edward was born an uncle. So
I definitely no, I was not born an uncle, but I think
pretty close.
I was 4 when I was an uncle. I
Okay.
was 4 years old when I was an uncle.
And he had to give that one
So,
away.
yeah, I was like, what? When they told me, I thought he was just a kid. To be honest, I was like, no, he's your sobrino, and I'm like, what? I was like, I didn't even know what that word was. I was like, okay.
It's always like the funniest thing too, because it's like meet your uncle, and it's this little dude.
This little dude, and you're just like, what?
Here's a 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Bro, let
But
me tell you something. Remember Juanjo?
Yeah.
That dude, he's a little bit taller than me, but he's like 3 or 4 times my size with wise.
He's playing offense. He's an
He
offensive lineman, isn't he?
he was in high school, but he's working construction right now. But he's a big dude, man. That dude picked me up and carried me like a baby, and I let him because
I
that's my nephew.
allowed him to carry me like a baby.
I allowed him to carry me because I could have easily done like the scissor headlock or something crazy, but I let him. My kids were there. They watched that and they were like, "Wow, Daddy, you got carried." I was like, "Yep, yep. Don't worry, kids." I was like, I was about to do something crazy. I was like, "But you
Edward's
guys are there,
also
so I'm just
Edward's also very small to begin with.
yeah."
Um,
I'm a buck 60. I'm a buck 68.
and that's soaking wet.
Actually, right now, buck 68.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah.
But all right, man. So this episode, we do have some headlines to talk about. We're going to do our full recap of the David Beckham documentary. Awesome documentary. Really, like, I actually think it was a good job on Netflix. Way to end my last month of as a Netflix subscriber for me. Pretty good show. And thank God I finally finished freaking Love is Blind. That is by far the dumbest show ever. I hate it. Edward. I'm so mad at Enoch that I had to watch this in support. And he was only in it for like a second. And that's like the worst part of it all.
Damn.
I was like, he might show up. Who knows? He never showed up. Which, I mean, I will say props to him, though, because his highlight of the show, Love is Blind, was asking somebody, which this is the first part is I know because he uses this he asked this stupid question in like as our like icebreaker, in college. Fuck, marry, kill, waffles, French toast, or pancakes.
Oh damn!
This is the question he asked to someone that he was potentially gonna marry. So I mean, I don't know, Edward, if you're like fully familiar with the show Love is Blind.
Not really. I'll be honest
basically,
with you, not really.
you don't see the person's face. So you're in these pods and you're talking to you're just talking to the person, getting to know them, learning about their interests and all that stuff. And in order for you to see them face to face, you have to propose to them to find out if love truly is blind. Which I keep saying, like, if you're gonna do this show, really do it right and have like fat people in it, because then it really will find out if love really
oh
is
my
blind.
God. So what you're saying is, okay, I'm not trying to insult you, but that means, would you try to sign up for it?
Hell no.
At that point.
Hell no.
Why?
Dude, you only talk to a person for like, I don't know, a week, and then you have to decide if I want to marry them?
But I'm pretty sure the marriage isn't real.
No, actually, like, people actually got married. Well, one couple did. The rest didn't work out.
God.
But like,
oh God.
Yeah. So personally, I wouldn't want to do it. Personally, if the option was to date the person and then like be in a relationship with them, sure, why not? But like, if the fact that like the end goal is to get married, I would definitely not do it. Like, maybe if the end goal is to get us a condo, like they're buying us a condo, I'm like, all right, well, that seems cool. But I'd rather do that than have a wedding. Yeah, let's get can instead of spending all that money in a wedding, can I just have a condo? Yeah, it was just, anyways. But yeah, so this is my last month of Netflix. But yeah, so we're gonna do our full recap of the entire documentary. It's a 4-episode documentary of David Beckham. Announce our players of the week, give you guys some games to look forward to this coming weekend, and wrap this show up. And it is a 5-a-side draft, and the topic is 2000 trends from the 2000s. It was something that I thought about from just some random discussions that I had with some friends over the weekend. But yeah, so with all that being said, we're going to take a break, and then we're going right into our overreactions from this past weekend.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports. SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, and we're back. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, at InsertNameFC. Also, check us out on TikTok at insert.name.fc. I do a lot of blind top tens. I'll try to outdo somebody's career with the football career effect. Filter.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously we post clips of our episodes also on there. So make sure you guys follow us on TikTok at insert.name.fc. I'm having a lot of fun with TikTok. I think there's a new filter that came out where you can try to manage a team. So I might try to do that next. So we'll do that for sure. But obviously Edward was at a wedding, so he didn't really get to watch much soccer. So I'm going to be taking over for the overreaction on this one because I just...
Oh, here we go.
There's rivalries in this world that I have. Deep rivalries that I have in this world, Edward. And Edward knows most of them. My rivalry with the Chick-fil-A over on Fondren and 59.
And that's the one where I'm like, why are you always having a rivalry with them? And they never get his shit right. But I haven't been there, so I can't say.
It's the principle now. It's just I want to make sure they get it right finally. They've been batting pretty decently recently, so they've got on my good side. They got rid of all the idiots, so which essentially they just fired all the kids from Sharpstown. So fair enough. They're not Chick-fil-A quality. But yeah, I do still have my rivalry with that Chick-fil-A. My addiction to jersey bets, that's also a rivalry that I have with myself. But nothing tops the rivalry I have with one Greg Berhalter.
Ooh, that is true. He has this thing.
I gave him props. It was a really good call up that he had. It was a really good call up. I like the players that they called up. I thought it was some interesting names. But we did say he was going to face a real challenge, which was Germany. And did they get freaking demolished by Julian Nagelsmann's debut as the new manager for Germany, as they lost 3-1. The only goal for the U.S. was a goal from Christian Pulisic, which was a banger. But then after that,
it was a beautiful goal. It was a beautiful goal.
Yeah, after that, it was just full on depression at that point.
The thing is, the U.S. I think they had like some little uppity up. Like they had a little, like once they scored that goal, they were like, okay, we're on top. We can do this. And I think Germany just decided to be like, no, you can't, and then just put a stop to it.
Yeah, I think also the fact is just that look, I understand you don't have Tyler Adams, like obviously he's dealing with an injury yet again, but I think you still need to play the formation to like how it's going to be played even with or without Tyler Adams. Like I do think that it's important to have a six, especially when you go up against teams like Germany, where you definitely wish you could have had it. It was great to see Gio Reyna out there, but yeah, we need a six, and that hurt us a lot more. I mean, I'm not saying that adding a six would have probably solved the solution that we would have beat Germany, but yeah, it was rough, man. Germany. It once again, it's just Berhalter can't beat like the good teams.
Yeah.
Like all we said about Uzbekistan. All right, cool. We beat these two. No offense, but just not big countries. But we beat them, and we're supposed to beat them. We're not worried about the team. Like Greg Berhalter can beat the teams that we're supposed to beat. It could be a little bit overwhelming sometimes, but he still does it. It's the teams that we want to challenge. That we're all cocky and arrogant about these U.S. players. And it's the same thing like the World Cup. Man, that was a struggle. Every single game was a struggle, and then we just got outclassed by the Netherlands. Just outclassed, and same thing that happened. And it's the same thing with Germany. We just got outclassed by Germany. So, and the U.S. Soccer Federation spent loads of money on a search committee to get us this guy. So, I don't know what the other options were. I don't know if God, what's the name of that guy? What's the name of the other guy? The other American. The one that failed at Leipzig. And then Jesse Marsch.
Pifo. Oh, I was like, I don't know. I was like thinking Pifo.
Jesse Marsch.
Yeah, Jesse Marsch.
Jesse Marsch. Like, I don't know if Jesse Marsch would have been the solution, but I would at least tested that boundary before we went back to Greg Berhalter. So, yeah, I still don't believe in Greg Berhalter. I don't. Unfortunately, that's who we got to ride with till from here on out, though. But I just don't believe in I just don't believe in Greg Berhalter. I'm really apprehensive now about Ghana. I really am, and I mean, by the time this episode drops, I mean, we're probably gonna know the result of the Ghana game. But right now, it is so hard to believe in Ghana. I mean, believe in Ghana, believe in that Greg Berhalter can make this team a competitive team by the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Like it's I just don't have faith in it right now. So that's my overreaction. God, I hate you, Greg Berhalter. I think I hate you more than I hate Tottenham. So congratulations, Tottenham. You're not the thing I hate the most. It is.
Well, well, damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it me or is there about to be a celebrity boxing match over here where Hector challenges somebody else?
Actually, I am going to a free boxing lesson this week, so maybe.
Shoot. That's what's up.
Yeah, so maybe.
Once you learn, you could teach me.
From my one free boxing lesson.
Sure, why not?
I'm like granddad from the Boondocks. Sorry, Billy Mays.
Sorry, Billy Mays. I can only do this one.
Why buy the tape when I can use the infomercial for free?
Then he was already sweating and stuff just from the infomercial.
Oh man! All right. So headlines, man. Headlines. So Wayne Rooney leaves DC again. DC United and Wayne Rooney has decided to mutually part ways after literally a season and a half. But rightfully so. This is now the fourth straight season where DC United will not be in the playoffs. So clearly the Wayne Rooney effect did not work out. And now they have Christian Benteke, which that's gonna be interesting. But I mean, I think it was like also a good reason for Wayne Rooney to leave. Not saying that he's not a good manager for MLS. I think he could be somewhat competent for MLS. The only thing is that also DC United is looking to bring in a new general manager. And I think sometimes it makes a lot of sense for the general manager being able to bring in their own coach, like who they think would be of the best fit to what their vision is for the club. It's kind of similar to what with the Dynamo when Pat Onset took over, he brought in the first guy that he thought was going to work out. Clearly that didn't happen. Paulo Nagamura, and then obviously now we have Ben Olsen. Now we're actually good. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense for DC United to just part ways with Rooney, and then Rooney can seek other opportunities, which he did. He did get another opportunity, which was he is now taking over for Birmingham City over in the Championship, which they just recently fired their manager, John Eustace. Also, if you guys don't know, Birmingham City is the team that Tom Brady is a minority owner in. So that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady, man.
So, yeah. So now I mean, obviously Wayne Rooney has a lot of experience, especially in the lower divisions in England. So he come in, and obviously Birmingham City is actually in a pretty good spot right now because they're currently in 6th place. They only have 18 points right now, which is 12 points behind first place Leicester City. So I mean, as of right now, Birmingham City is in a playoff position for promotion. So not necessarily a bad situation. Just Rooney can't fuck it up. That's really all that he does need to. That's all he needs to do. Just not fuck it up and get Birmingham City into the Premier League.
I mean, that's I think that's a tough cookie to crack. Trying to get them into the Premier League. I don't know, man. That's a one tall order, and we know Rooney is not tall, but it is possible for him to do. We've seen him do, like you said, we've seen him do pretty spectacular things with lower division teams. So,
yeah, I think Wayne Rooney goes into that category of guys who are really good players. That I'll honestly say it. I don't think that he necessarily should be a coach.
I mean, let's put it this way: Steven Gerrard. He had his run in with the Rangers. Frank Lampard, he did not do very well with Chelsea when he was an interim. And but I mean, it's just yeah. But that's the thing. I think it's like it just has time and experience. And to be fair, it's like maybe also Rooney could take some of the stuff that he learned here in the MLS and take it over there, overseas.
No, yeah, definitely.
So it'd be pretty good.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm just saying that sometimes, like, not every player needs to be a manager, and that's kind of my point. I mean, honestly, the jury's still in the air for Zinedine Zidane, because I don't know if he was really a good of a manager or he just inherited a really good team. So, like, that's like one of those things. Like, I mean, I know Xavi's a good manager because what he did in Qatar, and then obviously doing what he's doing right now in Barcelona with the very little amount of resources that he's given. So I can definitely say in full confidence that Xavi's a good manager. It's the same thing that we can say about Xabi Alonso right now, who I think is rumored to be the next manager of Real Madrid when Ancelotti leaves. But then I'm also hearing rumors that he could be like the next Liverpool manager. So nobody knows what's going on.
I mean, to be fair, the more logical and more believable choice right now would be that Xabi Alonso is going to be the manager of Real Madrid later on, because I don't think Jurgen Klopp is going in anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. Especially the way Liverpool's been playing this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, like, my whole thing is just like not every player is gonna pan out to be a good coach. Especially like the world class players. Like, it's like, weirdly enough, I think it's like those like middle of the road type guys that usually end up becoming really good coaches.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Pep Guardiola, obviously had an amazing career at Barcelona, but he's not the first name you think of about Barcelona players.
Yeah. Like, especially like back then, then you don't really think think a lot of
clearly one of the best managers in the world right now. Jurgen Klopp, some of you probably don't even know played. To be fair, I wasn't even around when he played. So, but one of the best managers in the world. Gattuso, the definition of a dog. World Cup winner, everything. Terrible manager.
Yeah.
Terrible manager. How he finds work is beyond me. Like, I want that kind of I want that kind of ability.
You want that kind of job security
and still get work.
You want that job security.
Give me that.
I got you.
give me that. I'll take that instantly. I get fired and get a job immediately. Give me that. Jose Mourinho maybe played at some point. And now he's the special one. And depending how you feel, a pretty good manager. Just don't keep him for like 4+ years. But yeah, like, I mean, Ancelotti, maybe I know he was a really good player. I don't know if he was like world class by any
Superstar.
definition. Yeah, but obviously also one of the best managers in the world. So like it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. So I'm like not necessarily like you have. I mean, I think that's also in like across all pro sports. Like it's not like those like the best coaches aren't superstar athletes. Like they were just guys that had a career in the NFL and went to go coach, and now they're good coaches. Do I think Tom Brady could be a great coach? Probably not. I don't think he wants to either. But clearly, he owns Birmingham City. But yeah. So that was just my whole point. But yeah. I mean, and Wayne Rooney, he also seems to be that guy that just always finds a job. Like I'm not entirely sure if he's a good manager or not because like he's gone to like from club to club. Like also he's done this a lot too. And I mean, it all starts from Derby County. Obviously, then goes to DC United, and now he's back with Birmingham City. But like, yeah, it's just interesting. Like, I don't know necessarily yet if he's a really good manager or not because obviously it didn't pan out at DC United. Derby County, it wasn't necessarily his fault. There was a point where Derby County didn't even have like enough players for a roster. So I mean, Edward, I'm sure Edward remembers that.
I remember.
Yeah, so I'm just like, so like he's basically been put in like not ideal situations. This right now seems to be a very ideal situation where you're in a team that's at least in the conversation for promotion. So I mean, like maybe we'll find out. Maybe this is where we'll find out if Wayne Rooney is actually a really good manager or not. Because, like I said, I think everywhere else he's just not been in ideal situations.
I mean, it's like, okay, let me ask you this. Would you give, and this is actually a sort of realistic question, sort of non-realistic question. Would you give Rooney a shot to be the Manchester United manager?
No. No.
And so you'd rather leave Ten Hag on there?
The definition of a not ideal situation is Manchester United.
Apparently, every manager.
Okay, if you were to give me two contracts right in front of me, one was Chelsea and the other one was Manchester United, I would take Manchester United. but I mean, it's still like a rough situation. You clearly have talent on the field, right? Like you clearly have a talented roster.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like maybe the compelling part is like you do have players, you just got to put them in the right place and then let magic happen. But also for some reason and also like maybe like change the locks in Harry Maguire's house so he doesn't get to the stadium. And somehow remind Onana that he's a good goalkeeper. But
the thing is, I was reading this one article about Onana and all the stuff that's surrounding him. It's like they say he's like 27, and his first season there matches De Gea's first season. But
yeah, De Gea's first season was not.
It was not good, ideal. But you got to think about it. De Gea was what, 18, 19 when he joined up.
Yeah.
Then I mean, you got to think about it too. He was a starting goalkeeper for Atletico Madrid at a very young age. So it's like he was on a whole different ballgame. Onana has been playing this position for a while. So it's kind of hard to compare the two. It's really difficult to try to compare Onana and De Gea and try to put Onana on a thing like, he has the same track record as De Gea.
Also, they're two completely different goalkeepers because, like, De Gea, the one thing about him was dude's just a pure shot stopper.
Yep.
Like, now, if you want him to do something with the ball on his feet, he's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it.
But, and I think that's, like, the thing now that, like, everyone wants a goalkeeper that's good with their feet. And which is, like, I can see the benefit of it, but then at the same time, I kind of don't care for that benefit because it's, like, my goalkeeper is there to do one thing only, and that's to stop shots.
Yeah.
The goal of the game is to be the team that scores scores more than the other team. And if you have a goalkeeper that can at least stop some shots, that helps your chances.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like that whole debate of like shot stopper versus a goalkeeper that's good with their feet, I would much rather have the shot stopper. Not saying that I mean Edward can tell you I've been praising Andre Onana for like the longest. Actually, a guy that I wanted at Arsenal. But now even you're seeing that now with Arsenal right now, like Ramsdale is kind of getting pushed to the side because now they're starting David Raya, and I'm not entirely sure if David Raya is a shot stopper. I'm thinking he's more so better with his feet than Ramsdale is, but like I think one of the reasons why I like Ramsdale is because the dude's a dog, and then the other thing is I think we need to have like a dog counter, like how many times I've said dog like since ever. But like I also love his shot stopping ability. Like I think he's actually a really good shot stopper, very underrated goalkeeper. In the English Premier League right now. I'm not saying he's the best goalkeeper in the English Premier League, but he's definitely a very underrated goalkeeper. But I mean, clearly Mikel Arteta sees something in David Raya that he thinks is better than Ramsdale. But like, yeah, like I mean, with me though, like I still think Andre Onana is good. Like you can have like good goalkeepers that could be great shot stoppers, but then also be good with their feet. It's just more or less it's most likely if you have a good goalkeeper, they're probably just really good at shot stopping. Like Courtois is like a good example of that.
And he's horrible.
He looks so awkward when he has the ball on his feet.
Whenever he did that cut, I mean, it looked like he did it right. It's just I think he pulled that accidentally. Like he pulled that.
He's also like super lanky, so like he's just because of his height alone is just what makes him awkward. But like. Yeah, like, but he's a shot stopper. That's literally all he does. So I mean, but I still think Andre Onana is still a good goalkeeper. It's just unfortunate that he has Harry Maguire in his back line. But yeah, I don't think Wayne Rooney would be a good solution to Manchester United because like I think the other issue right now for Man U, and I think it's something that you and me have talked about too, is like these players are just not hungry, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you need like some sort of like drill sergeant type of manager to come in and really like, humble these guys back. Maybe bring back Jose Mourinho. No, that'd be terrible. But yeah, I think a disciplinarian type of manager would be ideal. Maybe would have been nice to have Ralph Rangnick at that time because I think that's kind of what he is a disciplinarian. But obviously that didn't work out because Ronaldo didn't want to press. So that's all a whole debacle. But yeah, man, there's like really nothing else, man, for that situation. But like I said, for right now, for Wayne Rooney, he needs to go to a situation that's like doesn't have so many like question marks of like the club situation, like Derby County, like it's funny too because like he went to Derby County to be a player, and then they just like bumped him up to manager.
I remember that.
So like he's literally he's gone to situations that have not been ideal. Like DC United wasn't really an ideal situation, so like
it really was not.
So I mean. We'll see what Wayne Rooney can do with Birmingham City. I mean, literally, it's like they're in a good spot right now. It's still super early in the season. It's crazy to think because we're in October. Actually, I guess it's not really that early. You're near the halfway point of the season. But like I think he's going to go into a good situation as long as he does. As long as he is the manager that we all think that he could be. Birmingham City could be contending for promotion. Not saying they're going to get promoted, but it definitely could be contending for promotion.
Yeah, I mean, he brings a lot of like, for one, personal experience, and especially like English Premier League personal experience. And now he also brings like, championship, MLS experience, and the managerial side of things. So I feel like they may be more lenient with him. I think they were lenient with him at Chicago, at DC United. So maybe now there probably be the same amount of leniency as in when it comes to like wins and purchases and stuff like that. It's just you can't really do too much, to be honest, with the DC United salary cap. I think like you can't bring
Mhm.
like basically let's put it this way: what Beckham did, what he did, and bring in Leo Messi, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets. Like he brought those are high rollers. Like you can't just do that like with the DC United salary cap.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that Rooney is used to actually bringing in young talent, and a lot of young talent do derive from the smaller clubs sometimes, like that you see, and they get picked up by Chelsea, they get picked up by Man City. They basically get picked up by the major clubs, the big clubs.
Yeah,
They see
exactly.
that hey, this kid has potential. You know, this is going to be he's a good player. You know, he can develop him a lot better in our academy. So we'll get him. You know, they're cheap. So I think Rooney he can do it. I think he could do it.
No, I agree. We'll see what happens there. Well, I mean, obviously, we're gonna mention Birmingham City if they get promoted. So, we'll
Yeah.
definitely be keeping an eye on that in the championship. All right, next headline: Eden Hazard has officially announced his retirement at the prime age of. Probably should have checked his age. I think he's like 33, or he might be 31.
I think he's 31, dude. He's your age.
Is he really my age?
I'm sure.
Let's
Can double
see.
check.
He's 32. He was born the
32?
same year as
Oh.
me. He was born in January though.
Okay.
So we
So
were
you're
born
like 11 years apart, 11 months apart. I mean,
like,
like 11 years.
the math ain't math in there,
sorry,
buddy.
sorry. My math is not calculating.
So you guys are like 11 years.
You guys are 11 years. You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
But yeah, so he's 32 years old. I think obviously he wasn't able to find a club. Yeah, I think he wanted to stay in Europe specifically. But yeah, after leaving Real Madrid, really wasn't able to find a club that he would prefer to be at. There was interest from MLS teams and obviously Saudi Arabia. Offered him a bag, but it just didn't entice him. So I would imagine that maybe he would have made a move to either back to Belgium, or maybe he would have done a move to, if Lille would have reached out to him, because remember before he went to Chelsea, he was playing at Lille.
Yeah.
But or even I don't know. It definitely would have been cheap for Chelsea to bring him back.
Yeah.
32 years old. The dude didn't really do anything at Real Madrid, so his legs are probably pretty fresh.
Damn.
I mean, the unfortunate thing with Eden Hazard when he was at Real Madrid was just, I think
injury after injury after injury.
He dealt with injuries, which I mean,
the thing is,
kind of a thing that Hazard was dealing with, though. Like, I mean, it wasn't something. It was pretty normal for his career with injuries. Not saying that he was like injury prone every year or something like that, but like injuries always lured with Eden Hazard.
Well, let me tell you something. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. As a dribbler that he is, I will tell you personally, you do pick up a lot of injuries, a lot of fouls and stuff like that. The thing is, a lot of his injuries weren't really like from other players. Like it was mostly him. And I learned, and I'm 34, and I learned that once you get to your 30s, everything starts to hurt. Now, there's always these programs and stuff that you see on YouTube. You see like, hey, you got to work on your mobility. Even if you're old, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Pretty sure that's one thing that Hazard, I think this may be one of the reasons, because for one, we know that he's not a big training kind of guy. Like he's not like Ronaldo getting there, the first one to get there and then the last one to leave. He's very like relying on talent, which we've talked about this before. So I feel that he just didn't want to put in that effort to try to just make it in Real Madrid or in any major club whatsoever. So I think that's the reason why he's retiring. Of course, he's made his money, he's made his moves, he's been to the World Cup, he's been to the Champions League, the dude's done it all, I mean, in Chelsea, the dude was phenomenal. Like that dude there, that's the reason why Real Madrid picked him up, because of all the stuff that he did in Chelsea, all of his achievements in Chelsea. And I still remember like that video where he just does basically step overs and all those body feints, and he takes the ball with speed. And that's one major attribute that he had all the time, is that he could run with the ball with speed. It wasn't like, oh man, this dude's gonna lose the ball right now because he's going too fast. No, he was one of those players where I'm like, man, I'd rather him go fast, because fuck, like if he doesn't go faster, he's gonna get dropped. And if he goes fast, he's gonna take the ball with speed. Like a lot of players can't really do that. A lot of players tend to push the ball. Like Ronaldo. Ronaldo has that where he pushes the ball and he uses his speed to catch up to the ball. Messi is the one that kept it close. Same thing with Eden Hazard. But Hazard had that I don't know. I guess it was like, maybe I felt like Hazard had the ability to change direction and maintain the speed. Messi changes direction, body feint, and then starts accelerating again. Like, so he would be like going, let's say 10 miles an hour, and then slow down back to 2, and then all of a sudden starts going to 3, 4, 5, 6, and go up. Hazard, I felt was like he would do the cut, and then he'd start slow again. It'd be like 2, but then from that 2, he'd already be at 8 as soon as he would take off running. He just had tremendous acceleration when he was playing in Chelsea. The thing is, like I said, he never really took care of himself when it came to injuries. Like, I think he did the bare minimal, and as long as in recovery as well, I think he just did the bare minimal, or whatever like the team of physiotherapists would do. It'd be like, all right, you're good to go, you're warmed up. We recommend you doing. No, I'm okay. Like, he's like, I'm okay. I'm just gonna rely on my talent. Like, that's how he was. Like, I think that's how he is, and it got back to him after all this time. So I think that's also one thing where that's one of the reasons why I think he's retiring, is like he's just like, I just don't feel like keeping up with it anymore. It could be, like I said, it could be him wanting to be with family. It could be him just plagued with injuries and he's just tired of dealing with all of that. But I do think that a major component, or a major reason why he's retiring, is because he's like, I don't want to bang on my body any more than it already is. And I don't want to take care of it either. Like, not take care of it, but he's like, I don't want to try to work from zero all the way up again,
Yeah, I think also the fact that he hadn't commit to a club yet, or he didn't get that offer, was also another thing. Because I mean, if, when you're not training, or you're not
playing in a major team,
and I mean, working out versus like training with the club for practice and all that is two completely different things. Like, there's football fit, and then there's fit, and those are two big differences. And obviously, it's October. Season started back in late August. So like that's a big chunk of time of not training with a team, not building chemistry with your team. And that does have issues. And I think there's also like the fact also that like maybe some clubs were just kind of hesitant on getting Hazard, because of, unfortunately, like, his time at Real Madrid was just not good. Obviously dealt with injuries. He was overweight when he came in when he came into Real Madrid. When he first came to Real Madrid, he was overweight. Which, I mean, he wasn't fat, but I mean, obviously, when it comes to soccer standards, like, yeah, he was overweight. But then obviously, he gets hurt. Vinicius ends up, finally being the player that everyone was hoping he would be for Real Madrid, and then, lost his spot to Vinicius.
And then the thing is, like, to get it back against Vinicius, Vinicius was basically hungry for goals, hungry for the field, for him to be making those runs where nobody could stop him. Dude, like, it's hard. Like, you can't compete against that. It's hard.
Yeah, so I think at that point, that also, I think, was a factor why he wasn't getting like the offers that he was hoping to get. But then also, like you said, I mean, at some point you need to rest your body, and I think at this point his body's like too rested now. Will he come back? Yeah. Probably not, because I mean, most footballers don't like flirt in and out with retirement like Landon Donovan does. So So I think he's for sure done. Look, when you look back at Eden Hazard's career, if you just take away his time at Real Madrid, because I'm sure everyone wants to forget about his time at Real Madrid, including myself. He was that dude. He was 100% that guy. When he was in Chelsea, honestly, there was not a player there was no winger that was playing at his level during his time
It
at Chelsea.
really wasn't.
He was definitely a class above in the winger. There was a reason why Real Madrid was willing to put in the money, and because I mean, essentially, Hazard was going to be the replacement for Ronaldo.
Yep.
And so, that's a pretty big statement coming from the club. Like, hey, this guy is a quicker version of Ronaldo. Let's get him in now. And obviously it didn't pan out. And now, like I said, just a series of things that led to obviously what ended up being his career with Real Madrid being a disappointment was the fact that obviously injuries happened. And then obviously, of course, the rise of Vinicius Jr. Definitely didn't help his case. And that's why Eden Hazard just didn't really play hardly any matches while he was in Real Madrid. But like I said, if you take away that Real Madrid stint, you would look at him and you will say that he's definitely, up there as one of the greats. And I mean, I'm sure, one part of that golden generation of Belgium. No one's gonna not talk about Belgium's golden generation without mentioning, Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Lukaku,
Courtois.
Yeah. So and Eden Hazard was literally the leader of that group. Before obviously, like I said, injuries happened for him, and Belgium happened. But I mean, aside from that, the guy had an amazing career. I mean, just looking at his career right now, like here's his stats according to Transfer Market: 622 appearances, 167 goals, 157 assists. Had 5 league titles and 1 Champions League. I'm pretty sure everybody would want that kind of career.
Yep.
Especially dealing with the injuries that he had.
Oh yeah. I mean, think about it. El Fenomeno, he had to retire even if he wanted to keep playing.
Yeah.
Because of the injuries. Because his body couldn't handle all that anymore.
I mean, Ronaldo, he did some things. The fact that he had to learn how to kick with his opposite foot and be lethal with that one and became lethal with it. I mean, the man was just, I don't think there's going to be ever another player that was like fat Ronaldo. So. But anything you want to say about Eden Hazard before we wrap this up?
He was a tremendous player in Chelsea, Real Madrid.
Yeah, we can just not talk about his time at Real Madrid.
I was going to say thank you for not playing hard against Barcelona.
He didn't play at all.
Were there. And the time that you were there. Yeah. So, well, yeah. No,
actually, you might want to be mad at him for that, because if it wasn't for him, Vinicius wouldn't have been torturing you.
I mean,
double-edged sword.
Yep, pretty much.
But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and then we'll go into our recap of the David Beckham documentary, which I really don't know if that was the name of the documentary. I just called it David Beckham. It was probably Beckham.
It is Beckham.
Okay, so yeah, but we'll do our recap of Beckham.
It's on Netflix, by the way. So.
On Netflix. Hey guys, this is Hector from the InsertName FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip, using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadaDipCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadaDipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canada Dips for being a great partner of BellyUpSports. And we're back. All right. The documentary Beckham, the story of David Beckham. done by Netflix. So if you guys have Netflix, go ahead and check it out. It's a really good documentary. I gotta say, before we start talking about the documentary itself, Edward, what do you think of David Beckham? Like when you think about the name Beckham.
I think of Beckham. I think of when he was in Manchester United. He was a key piece in Alex Ferguson's Man U team, especially because I think they were building the team all around him. And then, of course, I do think of the World Cups where he was captain for England, and of course when he was a Galactico, because I believe he was like one of the remaining Galacticos, like after everybody basically left.
He was the last Galactico.
Yeah, so that was it. I mean, that was fairly it. That's really mostly for what I remember him for. After that, I mean, it was I still remember that he was going to get paid $365 million for the one season he was going to be there. So technically, he was the first. That was the first time I ever heard of a contract that ludicrous, where it was like $1 million a day, basically.
Oh yeah. That was crazy. I mean, if it wasn't for David Beckham, the designated player rule wouldn't have been a thing.
Yep.
So, thanks, Bex. Yeah, when you think of David Beckham, you think about Manchester United, you think of Real Madrid, you think of England, LA Galaxy. But I think aside from that, man, like this was like the first, at least in my opinion, the first time a player was more than just a player. Because I mean, this guy was also modeling. He was, a personality. Like, most of the time athletes, they usually just focus on being an athlete, right? Like they don't try to do like social events or any of that, but unless the teams are making them do it. But David Beckham, like I think was, in my opinion, especially during that time, like understood the business of
business side of it,
of what this game is supposed to be. Like that, it's essentially the player, like the nothing's bigger than the club and all that stuff, but like you also are an attraction value to the club.
And the thing is, like, he is basically what Cristiano Ronaldo is as well. Like he was before that.
Yeah, like, I think he paved the way for a lot of players.
He paved the way for a lot of people, for a lot of players that were like big on modeling, for Calvin Klein, for Versace, like a lot of different things like that.
Not only that, but just advertising. Like,
Yeah.
Like Messi, now you see him. Now when you think of Messi, you
Pepsi.
think of Pepsi and Lay's.
And Adidas.
And Hard Rock Cafe. Maybe we go to Hard Rock Cafe in Miami one day and we'll try the Messi sandwich. But yeah, like, I think this is like the first time where you see an athlete that's trying to make themselves marketable, and get those offers. So I think that when I think of David Beckham, I mean, shoot, there's a movie called Bend It Like Beckham. He's not really in the movie.
Yeah, he's not.
Literally not in the movie.
Did he make a cameo?
He makes like a cameo. He makes a small cameo near the end. I literally watched that movie and I'm like, where the fuck's Beckham? So, but I mean, like this was the first time where people knew who David like, you may not have watched soccer, you may have not watched a sport, but you knew who David Beckham is. Which is, I think now you can say the same thing for like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Like you may not watch the game, you might not watch a sport, but you know those names.
Yep.
So
exactly.
So David Beckham, in my opinion, is like the first to have done that, of making themselves a marketable. I don't want to say product because that just sounds disrespectful. Making their name marketable. So like just like that. But yeah, so obviously they do the documentary. They had 4 episodes. Like I said, we're not gonna like do like a full recap of every single one. But so just so you guys have a little idea, maybe me and Edward sprinkle in some thoughts. So I'll give you guys like my things I took from each episode. Edward will throw in something additional as well, and we'll see where we go from there. But this should not take that long. But all right, episode 1, it was called The Kick. It is literally Beck's start at Manchester United, from being a 15-year-old lad to now playing for his dream club with one of the greatest managers in the world, Sir Alex Ferguson. His adjustment to fame, and of course, the dating of a Spice Girl.
Yeah. What's her name? Posh Spice?
Yeah, Posh Spice.
Yeah.
AKA Victoria Beckham. I don't remember
Victoria
her last name.
Adams.
There we go. Victoria Adams. I just gotta say, the one reason why I also wanted to watch this documentary was because of the scene when of the clip of Victoria Beckham saying that her and David come from working class families, and then Beckham literally walks in and says, "Stop! No, you weren't." Tell the truth. And then starts asking,
because his dad did come from a working class family.
Beckham was legitimately working class, and then she has to mention that in the 80s her dad drove a Rolls Royce.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "What car did your dad drive?" It's not that. It's very complicated. He's like, "No, it's not. What car did he drive?" I just love that he was like gatekeeping being poor. I was like, I've seen levels of gatekeeping, of different things. People that gatekeep anime, people that gatekeep being Hispanic. I have never seen someone gatekeep being broke.
I mean, hey, he came from very humble origins, man. What'd you expect? Shit, he didn't want to be fucking broke.
It's like, you drove a Rolls Royce. What you mean? But yeah, I think it was really cool, obviously, to be 15 years old and playing for Manchester United. And it was crazy to me because this dude was wearing number 10.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? That was the first thing I learned at that moment. Was this whole time I thought David Beckham was just wearing some random number till he was given the number 7 after Cantona left.
At first I thought he was given number 23, and then he gave number 7.
It was bizarre, but that was an interesting thing to learn.
But he was number I think he was number 23 in Real Madrid.
Yeah, after that he wore 23. He wore 23 for Real Madrid, and he wore 23 for the Galaxy.
Who was number 10 in Real Madrid when he was there?
Figo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he couldn't take it away from Figo.
Yeah. 10 wore Figo was 10, Raul was 7. Ronaldo wore 11.
No, Ronaldo was 9.
No, he wore 11.
Did he wear 11? You sure? Mm-hmm. Then who was number 9?
I don't remember, but I know Ronaldo wore 9 or 11.
I could have sworn Robinho was number 11, and then Ronaldo was number 9.
Ronaldo was gone before Robinho came in. Because remember, Robinho was wearing which is my favorite Real Madrid jersey, is the one with the Adidas, the 26, actually the 2006 edition was the 2006 jerseys, when they had the little team of the century kind of patch. Anyway, that's not important, but this is not important. But anyways, kind of going back to the whole thing, but yeah, Manchester United, learning about the ways of Sir Alex Ferguson, which was that this dude was a disciplinarian. He was very strict with the players. They all had to be a certain fashion. No one could wear any other color boot except for black for training.
Oh yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson, and then obviously he wanted everybody to have normal relationships. No one to be dating a celebrity. Whoops.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. And then obviously you remember about the Spice Girls, and I was just that was, if you guys don't know what the Spice Girls were, there was just a pop band from back in the 90s, and they had some bangers. They had some pretty good bangers. I don't remember all their names. I know Sporty Spice and Posh Spice, but that's basic, and Scary Spice. Did I ever say that? Well, anyways, that doesn't matter. It's a very popular girl group. It was really good. If you want to be my lover, it's a hit. So yeah, and I think
Hector, all you girls out there, Hector's asking legitimately if you want to be his lover, and he'll take applications like Love Is Blind, the show he was watching. But go ahead.
I just want to forget about that show. But anyways, so the Spice Girls. And obviously, it's just, to me, it's always funny that they have like Gary Neville.
Oh, bro. Well, I mean, come on, dude. Gary Neville literally grew up with that dude.
Yeah, I know. Like they're like fucking best bros and everything. But it was just funny that he was just talking about it, and it is the funny thing, right? When everybody's like watching TV and they're watching the Spice Girls for some odd reason, and freaking Beckham just like, I like that one. I'm gonna date that one, and it's like, oh, you usually just say it. It's not like it's gonna happen, and then for it to actually happen, like,
yeah, it's a whole Shakira Piqué kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously Sir Alex Ferguson didn't like that he was dating a Spice Girl. But and I think maybe at that point I'm like, okay, Sir Alex Ferguson, like you're cool and all, but like I don't think you could be like that controlling of a player. At least that's my opinion. I mean, you can tell me how you feel about that one. But yeah, that's at least my thoughts on episode 1. Is there anything you want to add to episode 1?
No, I mean pretty much everything you said right now, and then everything I added on there.
Oh, also, the other thing I want to add, jerseys from back in the day were just bangers.
Oh yeah,
dude, man, like I was like, fuck, I forgot about that kid. The Manchester United jersey with like the sharp sponsor.
Yep.
I was like, dude, and I forgot how like the baggy look was the thing.
Baggy look and tucked in.
Yeah. I was just like, dang, man. Like, but yeah, those jerseys I love those jerseys from back in the day. I can only imagine those jerseys cost like $1,000 now. So especially if you're collecting kits. But all right, number 2, the episode's called Seeing Red, and this is essentially the aftermath of the 1998 World Cup, and obviously also David Beckham becoming a parent. If you guys don't know, the 1998 World Cup, when they were playing Argentina, this is when we found out how big of a dog Diego Simeone is.
Oh yeah.
So Diego Simeone gets physical with David Beckham. David Beckham decides to do a cheeky lift up his leg to trying to trip him, and the ref saw it, gave him a red card, and essentially cost England a chance to continue on in the World Cup. And I mean, look, like soccer isn't as pressing here in the U.S., but obviously in England, where everyone keeps hoping that's going to come home at some point, it's hard, right? And especially when you're talking about that generation of players, right? You got David Beckham, Gary Neville, can't remember the rest of the names, but like, you had like this really good, promising group of English players. You think that this team has what it takes to go pretty far. If you guys want to know, in '98, France won that World Cup. But they felt pretty confident. They fancied their chances to compete in the World Cup, and obviously this careless red card that David Beckham did, which obviously which led to them losing. He got hit with a lot of hate from that, and it isn't like how it is now with like social media being a thing. This is like the news, like the news on the television, news on the radio, newspaper articles, people making dummies with David Beckham's jersey, hanging him. It got pretty bad.
It got really bad.
And so obviously it got, dude, like the fact that David Beckham was getting booed essentially what he got was what the Astros got from here on out ever since the cheating scandal happened.
Yep.
Like that was every stadium that David Beckham was going. every stadium was going
And
to become a hostile.
even at home when he was playing in Manchester
Yeah.
United, he was getting booed.
Even in Manchester United, he was getting booed. And then obviously he became a parent. Victoria gave birth to their first son, Brooklyn, I believe that's what the name of the kid was.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how it was. He's still alive. And this was like the bizarre thing because so Beckham didn't want to take a picture, wanted anybody to get a picture of the baby. There was people like were like prepared to pay like a lot of money for a picture of the baby, which I'm like, that's kind of creepy. But I mean, at that time, obviously, paparazzis and all that shit. But if someone were to come up to me like, "Hey, man, I'll give you $1 million for a picture of this baby," and I'm just like, "What are you gonna do with the picture?" That just sounds so sus at that moment. I'm like, I don't think I want to give you this picture. But yeah, and then like people were threatening to kidnap the baby. I was just like, dang, dude, like. I'm sure. Like people, we live in a world now on social media where you get death threats, but like, yeah, it's just like I was just like, oh god, imagine if they did have social media at that time, and because I mean, people were ruthless back then, so I can only imagine how like vulgar they would have been, and their English. Yeah. English people are some very vulgar people, very vulgar. But yeah, so that was kind of all the drama that he was dealing with during that time. Is there anything else you want to add to episode 2?
No, not really. Just people. If you guys are fans, no matter in the world, wherever you are, if you guys are fans of certain players and they do something stupid that makes y'all lose the game or whatever, because I've had my moments. Barcelona, never go after the family. It was just like kind of like how whenever Matt Schaub ended up fucking up that game for the Texans, and then everybody was going around his mansion or his house and shit, talking and like throwing shit and like basically threatening his family. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, come on, dude. Like,
yeah, there's a thing that I always found like unique about fans, where it's like what's the word that I want to use here? There's a sense of like entitlement, right? Because you invest all these hours, you invest all this money. I hate when a fan says, "I pay your salary."
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably right. I mean, partially right, but it's just like that doesn't like mean that you get to like belittle somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just I think people sometimes need to remember that this is just a game, and like those people have lives, those people have families. So yeah, but it was insane what David Beckham went through, especially during that time, and it went on for quite a while.
Yeah.
It was going on for quite a while. But which goes to episode 3, which was called Golden Balls. And basically, this is the end of his time in Manchester United, as he has his little rebellion with Sir Alex Ferguson, and of course, his eventual move to Real Madrid. So kind of near the tail end, I guess now David Beckham's kind of rebelling with the ways of Sir Alex Ferguson. For some reason, I guess Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't gonna like the idea of Beckham shaving his head. This is when we witnessed Shave Beckham. Which is funny because like as soon as he did it, because like once again, this guy's marketable. Everything he does, people want to do, and I mean, there's a lot of things that David Beckham did that everyone started doing. And that's when he shaved his head, then you saw all the kids wanting to go and shave their heads at the barbershops. So there's another thing.
They had to put rules in the school talking about no shaved heads.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess skinheads is a thing. So
yeah.
So I guess that's a fair point. But yeah, David Beckham just doing his rebellion, kind of I guess doing the F you to the man to Sir Alex Ferguson, which was essentially like a father figure to him. But yeah, and then they bring in this assistant manager to Manchester United. Honestly, I can't remember the man's name. He does end up managing Real Madrid at one point, but I don't remember his name. But he essentially was saying that like
Capella, bro.
No, not Capella. Capella's Italian.
That's right. You're right. Okay.
And Capella wasn't an assistant for Manchester United. He just was a coach for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't remember the guy's name. Honestly, his time at Real Madrid was. He had the Galacticos. But yeah, I can't remember his name. People don't remember managers, unless it's Jose Mourinho. But that's just for comedy reasons. But like, so this guy is basically like doing his analytic shit, and he thinks that David Beckham is actually not a good fit anymore for Manchester United. Which I'm like, oh, okay. So, fuck you too. If I was David Beckham, at least. And so they have this 1 year. They just have the decision that they're just gonna put him up for sale. David Beckham is now up for sale, for transfer. And obviously David Beckham was not thrilled because he's been with Manchester United since he was 15 years old. Didn't want to leave the club, and I guess he wanted to hear from Sir Alex Ferguson. He didn't actually confront him about it, but yeah.
Well, the thing is, he tried calling him. He tried telling him. He tried asking him. He's like, hey, let me talk to the boss. Let me talk to the coach. And they were like, he doesn't want to talk to you. He can't talk right now. Alex Ferguson basically made his mind up already.
Yeah.
Already let him go, basically. Like, he already made the deal and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm obviously like while this happened, they had a Champions League game against Real Madrid, and Zinedine Zidane actually like asked them like, "Hey, when you coming to Real Madrid?"
Oh yeah, like when they were on the field and stuff.
Yeah.
Bro,
so
honestly, me being a Barca fan, and let's say if I'm playing for Manchester United, and this dude tells me, and it's Zidane, and he tells me, when are you coming to Real Madrid? I would have been like, oh, guffaw, or doing the goofy laugh. And I would have just been like,
whenever you want.
I'll be like, whenever you want. Then I'll be like, wait, hold on. Because I would have gone total fucking geek boy right then and there.
Zuzu.
Yeah, dude, honestly, man.
But yeah, so at that moment when basically Beckham's like, okay, well, fuck me. He's like, I get it. And then so he's just like, all right, well, if you guys are gonna send me to anybody, you gotta send me to Real Madrid.
Yep.
And Real Madrid gave him an offer, and then he became a Galactico. But the controversy with his move to Real Madrid was David Beckham's a winger.
Mm-hmm.
Plays on the right side, which at that time was Luis Figo.
Yep.
That was his position. So, and I think it's fair to say that, David Beckham is not Luis Figo. No offense to Beckham. So Beckham essentially had to play a deeper role in Real Madrid, which is a position that he was not familiar with. He wasn't comfortable in it, which led to a lot of like frustration from Real Madrid. And obviously there's pressure, right? Because it's Real Madrid. It's the best club in the world. All our players shit excellence kind of thing. And so now people are like, man, is this guy a bust? But obviously once you give Beckham time, he's going to do his thing, which he did.
Yep.
And yeah, so then, but meanwhile, Victoria Beckham is like freaking just frustrated as hell because like the Spanish, if you think the English media is bad, the Spanish media is just almost as bad.
The Spanish media was apparently basically let's put it this way: the Spanish media was basically like a telenovela, like a soap opera.
Yeah,
like making things worse. Like if one thing was going right, it's like, oh wait, but this happened, and then this, and then this, and
they
then
took
this.
everything out of context. What she said.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically made this narrative that Victoria hated Spain, which I mean, to be fair, maybe she would probably rather be in England because she speaks the language.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So, and then we get to the last episode, which is episode 4, which is what makes David run, and this is basically I sum it up as Real Madrid, LA Galaxy, AC Milan, PSG, and now.
Yeah.
So obviously, the thing that I took away from that, it's obviously near the tail end of his time at Real Madrid. David Beckham talks to another club because obviously he's not really playing that much for Real Madrid now. Real Madrid got completely offended that they found that he was talking to another club, so they essentially shunned him. They didn't allow him to train with the team. All he could do was just go out and run.
He was training by himself.
Just running. The players of Real Madrid were the ones that told, "Hey, let's have Beckham train with us."
Yeah, even Roberto Carlos, and when Roberto Carlos says it, that's when you're just like,
yeah,
damn.
Him, Salgado, Guti, like.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then obviously this is like the end, like near the end of like Real Madrid, and the rumors came. So obviously with like the fact that Beckham isn't playing, something was arising over in the U.S. Some Americans were like, "Let's go get David Beckham," and I'm sure everybody was laughing when someone presented that idea. But they're like, "Look, man, he's not playing right now. He's probably not happy at Real Madrid. This could be a great opportunity for him to bring him over here and finally make soccer exciting here in the U.S." And so they approached David Beckham. David Beckham kind of gave him a "fuck you," which I thought that was kind of funny. But then obviously, then he took the offer. So then they had the announcement that he's going to go. Once the season's over, he's going to the LA Galaxy.
Yep.
And next thing you know, Beckham starts playing for Real Madrid. Actually helps them do pretty well, and they win La Liga that year.
Yep.
And funny enough, Barcelona had like a commanding lead that season.
Oh yeah.
And then
they
basically choked it. They choked it, and Real Madrid was able to come back on the final day to win La Liga. So gave David Beckham his like storytell, like his like, his like fairy tale ending at Real Madrid. And what was funny was like now David Beckham was thinking, man, maybe I should stay at Real Madrid.
He was thinking
LA
about it, yeah.
pulled the most hoest thing I ever heard in my life, which was, "Nah, you're my property."
No. So they pulled that when he went on loan to AC Milan.
Oh, that's right.
So he was actually up and up for the move after Real Madrid, because after Real Madrid he was like, I showed them what I can do, but he's like, it was sad about the players and everything and the coach and everything, but he's like, but I did it, and he moved to LA. Then when he moved to LA, he was doing good, everything was great, but the coach called him, Glenn Puddle called him. And he was like, dude, if you want to play for England, you got to play at an international level, like a club level that's higher. He was like, nothing against MLS. He's just higher. Like, he's like, you got to be in one of those leagues where you are the man. He's like, you can't be the man in a small pond. He's like, you got to be the man in one of the big fucking ponds. And so he was like, all right. So he went on loan to AC Milan.
Where he wore the 32.
He wore the 32, the reverse 23, basically. And then he was doing great. The thing is, he liked it there. He liked being a part of that team, and he liked the people. He liked
Which
Italy.
I mean, if you want to think about it, that team had Ronaldinho, had Kaká before he made his move to Real Madrid. Was Phenomenal playing there now?
No, he wasn't.
Or it was already gone.
Yeah.
Robinho.
I think Pato was playing there.
Pato was there, yeah. Robinho, I think, was in Man City. Yeah, it was a pretty loaded team. Very low. Maldini was still playing at the time.
Maldini was there, yeah. Maldini was there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to think about it too this way. He actually said he liked the people there, and then when they interviewed him, he's like, he was looking to get a permanent move there. And then that's when LA was like, we fucked up. And they told him, you know what? No, you're our property. You can't do that. You still got time with us. We spend money on you. No, you can't do that. So then that's when all that started with the whole "you're my property" deal.
Yeah. So
And that's when they were like, what? Like, no. So then he did play. That was his last World Cup, I think, that
yeah, that was
year.
I forgot
It
the
was
2010 World Cup. Was it? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was 2010. Yeah, 2010 was his last World Cup. Yeah, because in the LA when he played for LA, I think 2011 and 2012 were like the two MLS Cups that they won. That he won.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
obviously he leaves LA Galaxy and they thought he was going to retire, but he was like, nope, going to PSG.
Yeah. Bro, with that PSG move, I was like, what? I was like, that is crazy insane.
It's kind of funny now to think about it because, like, obviously last episode we talked about Zlatan's interview, and he ends up now teaming up with Zlatan.
Oh yeah,
we're in the 32. But I think at that point he realizes like I don't have it anymore.
Well, no, the thing is, he said he kept waking up and he said his bones were hurting, everything was hurting, his muscles, his back, everything. He started feeling it then. And that's when he was like, I got to give it up. As much as he didn't want to, he was like, I got to give it up.
Yeah.
Because he was like, he was waking up the next day sore. Ice baths weren't doing much. He was done. He was done. And sad to say, I feel the pain.
Yeah. And now he owns a team.
Oh, and then now he owns Inter Miami, and it's so funny because like when they told him about his retirement, who was one of them that said, hey, hope you have a good retirement, stuff like that. Like hope you have a good time like at Miami, managing this club, having congratulations and stuff. Ironically, one of those players, who was it? Who was it that he said that was like, it wasn't Messi, it was another player. And he was like, hey, congratulations. He was a Real Madrid player. And I think I want to say it was, Roberto Carlos told him congratulations. Like, and he's like, he'll be playing with us one day, And then Messi was like, hey, he's like, congratulations, like,
Oh no, that was
playing.
Neymar.
Neymar, there you go. Neymar.
He had a video of Neymar. And he's like, he's gonna play for us someday.
Yeah,
and then there was Messi.
And then
Messi was like, give me a call.
Yeah, give me a call. And then, of course, sure enough, then they showed the Messi presentation.
Flash forward to Messi's announcement.
Yeah, bro. Like, honestly, that was legit. Like, that was legit badassery. Like, that right there. And then, of course, the free kick goal. Messi's first free kick goal for Inter Miami. You see David Beckham just celebrating the crap out of it. He was just so happy about that.
Yeah, that was great. That last episode was really cool. But the entire documentary as a whole, man, what was your? We're gonna do 3 takeaways. So you'll give one of your takeaways. I'll do my takeaway, and we'll go all the way till we get to our third one.
Okay.
So.
Well, all right.
What is your first takeaway from the entire documentary?
Well, I mean, truthfully, I think I was telling you this off the recording, but I was like watching David Beckham and listening to him and seeing how he is. It's like makes me want to be a little bit more organized. He's just he's very clean, and not just in actually like just being clean, but like his mannerism as well. Like I did not hear that man cuss like a big ass cuss. If anything, I heard Victoria Beckham cuss more.
Yeah, you're right. So even Gary Neville.
Yeah, even Gary Neville, and it's like Beckham technically was the one that came from I'm not going to say the hood, but he came from the working class.
Remember, he was gatekeeping being broke.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like he's in another level as a person. Like, man, he's humble, but it's like he also works hard for his stuff. He worked hard for all that he has. So that's something very admirable about him.
Yeah, that's a good one. My first takeaway is Victoria Beckham's side of all that was going on was very important to the documentary. I
Oh
think a
yeah.
lot of people forget that, like, especially with these athletes, like the families definitely have to do a lot. Obviously, like schools, finding a house, like all these
Yep.
things, like falls onto her, and it's like, it sounds the life of an athlete sounds cool because you're like, but there's also the harsh reality of getting transferred, or in American sports, getting traded, becoming a free agent, and you don't know where you're gonna go. Like one day you're in Miami, next thing you know you're in Cleveland, and so like I think it was good that they were able to have like Victoria share her struggles and like her side of everything, because it's
Yeah.
like, and you can even see her frustration where she's like, "Yeah, I'm happy here in America," and then David's like, "We're going to Milan," and she's like, "Fuck, why?" It's
She's like,
like,
wait. She's like, wait, what?
it
And
was
then
funny
she's
too
like,
because she's
David,
so happy in
no,
LA, and
no.
then next to this guy's, "Pack your bags, we're going to Italy." She's like, "Motherfucker."
No, and then she's like, and then David pulls a David special. Like, we're
Yeah,
moving. And he's like, what? She's like, what?
yeah. So I think it was very important to have Victoria's side of the story as well.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, it's a good documentary. So I actually personally would want to watch it again, just for shits and giggles, man.
All right, what's your second takeaway?
Second takeaway, Capella is a badass manager. I like his management style.
Yeah, man. When he came to Real Madrid, and then obviously did end up eventually becoming the manager for England. Um, yeah, it was definitely he was a really good manager for Real Madrid. And
Yeah,
then I think after him was Pellegrini.
yeah.
But yeah, so
No, I mean, I could tell that he was a damn good manager. Like he stuck to his guns. Like you could say another Alex Ferguson, which is exactly what David Beckham said. That he liked the fact that he had order, that he had his rules, and that's something that he actually enjoys because he's a by the book kind of guy.
which kind of makes a lot of sense because of, like, obviously he grew up with Sir Alex Ferguson style, which,
Hmm.
like, Ferguson's like, this is how it
He
needs to be
was
done, and you.
he was literally 16, so that's all he knew.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's a good one. My second takeaway is, it is ridiculous the amount of times people doubted Beckham.
Oh yeah,
Friggin' even Ferguson at one point doubted him. It was just like, and then next, he's like, "Yeah, I think he's done. I think let's just send him out." And then goes plays for Real Madrid. Maybe not the same level of career that he had at Manchester United, but like still, still won a La Liga title out of it. And got to be part of Los Galacticos. And I mean, it is a bigger brand than Manchester United, but yeah, it's like, it was just like the continuing of having doubts. I mean, freaking, even the people in LA Galaxy had like doubts about his commitment to the team. Freaking wins them 2 MLS Cups out of it. Like it just, like, the amount of people that just kept doubting David Beckham, and then he just like shows out in the final hour.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was my.
Especially that whenever he got his redemption for that England free kick.
Yeah, definitely all the doubts that they had about him for England, and he just fought. Dude, we didn't mention it, but like obviously his rematch with Diego Simeone,
Oh
when he
yeah,
was
the one
playing for
when
Inter Milan,
Inter Milan versus
which I think that's
which
when that earned the title Golden Balls, because, like, obviously he played with big balls on that game. Um,
yeah, because there Gary Neville said he would have tried to freaking shell him. He was gonna try to level him, and he didn't. He kept it. And the thing is, like, even Simeone said he had a lot of respect for the fact that he came and asked him for his shirt. Like they exchanged shirts after
yeah,
everything that happened.
that's
So
just
I
that's
mean,
just
that's
respect, man. That's just, yeah. He has Diego Simeone's respect. Well,
yeah.
meanwhile, I'm still afraid of him.
Oh, Simeone. Well, you're afraid of him for various reasons, but it's because you know he's got nothing but dogs on his team.
And he is the ultimate dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is. And then Edward, what's your final takeaway?
The final takeaway is if you want your kids to play professional soccer, do what his dad did. Make them practice with both feet all the time
Oh yeah, good point.
from they're little.
Build your own pitch.
Yeah. No, he did that shit in his own backyard.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't anything special. It was just his own backyard.
yeah, it's a good one. And then my last takeaway is even Landon Donovan would tell Landon Donovan, "Fuck you."
Yep.
Obviously referring to the whole when Landon Donovan spoke out about that David Beckham is unprofessional, he's not a good teammate. He even put it in his shitty book that no one fucking read. I'm
surprised you didn't buy it for shits and giggles.
No, I didn't buy it for shits and giggles. I mean, people quoted it too much on ESPN for me, which is the first time people were talking about soccer on ESPN. That was impressive. But yeah, and obviously if you have it, I think Beckham made a very fair point. Like, if you have an issue with me, just say it to my face. Like, we're teammates. Like, we keep it in the locker room, right? Like that's supposed to be like your sanctuary in some sense. Like squash whatever beef you have in that locker room. Like, you speak out to each other. There's no media around, so get it face to face and just handle business and just move on. Obviously Landon Donovan handled it like a bitch, and it is what it is. But it was funny though, because Landon Donovan then said, "No, I can't complain." He did say that he was like, "Yeah, I think if I was in that same situation, I would look at him in the eye and say, 'Fuck you too.'" So,
yeah, he said, if that would have been me, and he would have came to me and said the same thing that he said, I would have said, "Hey, fuck you." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
I was like, Beckham. He's like, so for him to say that was a big deal for me.
which clearly they squashed the beef, and they clearly won MLS Cups after that. So I mean, obviously everything's good, but yeah, it was I think David Beckham definitely won a very bizarre career of just in general, but also once again was probably one of the biggest brands in soccer at one point.
Mm-hmm. And just him alone.
Just him alone. I mean, like I said, he was so influential. Like, people would have his hairstyle.
Oh yeah.
Like the shaved head, the faux hawk, the weird
ponytail.
The weird ponytail thingy. Yeah, like people would do whatever Beckham was doing. It was also kind of interesting to see the evolution of all his tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that's what he looked like before the tattoos.
Right.
But yeah, so great documentary. Go watch it. It's on Netflix. Beckham, literally what it's called. Honestly, man, Netflix has been doing a really good job with these documentaries. Almost makes me want to think about renewing my subscription to Netflix, but I'm not. but yeah, really good job by Netflix for that one.
Yeah, no lie.
All right, man. So Players of the Week. Players of the Week is brought to you by In the Clutch. In the Clutch is an amazing clothing apparel company brought to you by the Player Associations of Major League Soccer, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, the National Football League, and so much more. These shirts are not only comfortable, but the designs are amazing. And quoted by Kelsey Coyne of High Low Sports, it has passed the Fat Boy test. So if you guys want to see it for yourself, man, experience it. Go to intheclutch.com. You can look it up by your city. You can look it up by your favorite player. You can look it up by sport. However you want to do it, you'll find a design that you will like. And once again, the best part, it goes straight to the players. So if you guys want to check that out, go to intheclutch.com. And when you go to checkout, use the code InsertName at checkout, and you'll save 10% off your entire purchase. Once again, InsertName, and you'll save yourself 10% off your purchase. All right, Edward, who's your player of the week?
So my player of the week is Gavi from Spain in that international friendly against Norway. He scored the only goal in the game. But I mean, it's Gavi,
That devious dog.
Yep. You already know. So yeah, I mean, I honestly was expecting Erling Haaland to pull something out, and he almost did. It just, man, I mean, Spain was pretty well set up. They were expecting him basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but Hector, who's your player of the week?
My player is Dodi Lukebakio, who scored 2 goals in Belgium's 3-2 win against Austria.
Nice.
So congratulations to Gavi and Dodi Lukebakio for being our players of the week. Once again, thank you so much for In the Clutch for being the presenting partner of Players of the Week. Go ahead and check out intheclutch.com. Use the code InsertName to save yourself 10% off. Also, if you guys want to have a say in the votes for the Player of the Year award, go to Instagram and X. If you go to Instagram, it'll literally be posted on our stories. You can go ahead and vote on who's your player of the week from these 2 players. And of course, if you go on X or Twitter, you can go onto the post, the sub comment right there. Just go in and you can go ahead and make your vote. All of them will be tallied together and we'll give that player an extra vote for the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year award. It is getting very tight in that race now. It is now anyone's game to who's going to win the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year award. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that so your voices can be heard. But all right, man, there's some games going on this weekend. You know, no more international break. If you're from El Salvador, you're kind of relieved about that. Because they are cheeks right now. Which I knew that was gonna happen. All right. In other leagues, not named the leagues that we normally talk about, we have Galatasaray taking on Beşiktaş in Turkey. Young Boys taking on FC Zurich in Switzerland. So, if you have BN Sports, you could definitely watch the Turkish league. I don't know anywhere that in America that watches the Swiss that has like the Swiss league available. So that might be a challenge. But you know, if you can, go for it. It is a big weekend coming up for MLS because it is decision day. This will dictate where everybody's going to be in the playoff picture. So next week, we are doing a playoff preview. To make things easier for Edward, Edward will not be doing it. I'm actually going to be recruiting some guys from GolzTV to help me out with that one. So Edward, you can have a sigh of relief knowing that you don't have to cover MLS.
Ooh.
But decision day, all the drama. You want the drama. You just insert Andy.
Yeah, right. I'm be like, insert Andy's voiceover over here.
I need the drama. No, I don't want the drama. All right. Liga MX, man. León taking on Toluca and Pumas taking on Monterrey. Their season is almost near the end where playoffs we're gonna be talking about. So some good matches there. In League, we got PSG taking on Strasbourg and Nice taking on Marseille over at Ligue 1. In the Bundesliga, we got Wolfsburg taking on Bayern Leverkusen and Hoffenheim taking on Eintracht Frankfurt. Dang, are you good?
Yeah, I was just sniffles, allergies.
Yeah. In the Serie A, we got Sassuolo taking on Lazio and AC Milan taking on Juventus. Another Jersey bet matchup coming in here. This time it is me versus Edward and Spencer. So this is going to be some big implications on this one, depending on who gets it. This is a real like 6-pointer for somebody on this one.
Yeah, we'll see what's up.
In La Liga, we have Sevilla taking on Real Madrid. It'll be Sergio Ramos facing his old club. So I'm not gonna cry in any way. I'm probably gonna cry. And Barcelona taking on Athletic Bilbao. Edward gets to watch one of his favorite players in the Liga, probably the namesake of one of his children, Iker Muniain.
Technically, he was named for Iker Casillas, but you know, it's okay.
Oh, the Ikers.
Iker Muniain. Oh, the Ikers.
In the English Premier League, we got Chelsea taking on Arsenal. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy that one. Or not, I don't know. I think Chelsea's still bad. And Liverpool taking on Everton. It is the Merseyside derby. I'm hyping this up for no reason because let's face it, Everton's awful. It's not even. It's very lopsided. I don't even remember the last time Everton won.
Damn.
I think it was recent. Might have been recent. When was it? When was the last time Everton beat Liverpool? Let's see. Last time Everton beat Liverpool. Yeah. I have fat fingers and I can't freaking use this freaking keyboard. Last time Everton beat Liverpool. Oh, it was literally in February. Oh wait, no, that Liverpool won that game. What the hell? I said when was the last time Everton beat Liverpool? Okay, I guess they don't have the history. Oh, there you go. Wikipedia, because they don't lie. Edward, help me out here. Okay, last time they won, it was 2021. February of 2021. Richarlison still played for Everton.
Oh, jeez.
And it was in Anfield. So, yep. The last positive result for Everton was a 0-0 draw back in 2022.
Damn.
So there you go. Can Everton do it? Probably not.
I like how you're like, can Everton do it? And it's like, maybe not.
Yeah. But anyways, so these are just a few matches that I think you guys should go watch. Obviously, there's a lot of great soccer to be watching, but this is a good beginner's guide if you guys are trying to figure out what matches you want to watch for this great weekend of soccer. So we're going to go ahead and take one more break, and then we're going to do our five-a-side draft of trends from the 2000s. Let me tell you guys about BellyUpSports. BellyUpSports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. BellyUpSports is the premier, not your average website. And we're back. All right, five-a-side draft trends from the 2000s, and we're going specifically towards the year 2000 to 2009. So a lot of trends that happened there, Edward. Obviously, when we're saying trends like fads.
Yeah, like
things that were trendy. Yeah. But yeah, so I did win last draft. So thank you to Bob Saget. I think it was actually the Backstreet Boys that helped me win that one. But so I'm going first, and then obviously then Edward goes. It's snake order draft, so Edward then had, obviously then goes twice, and then I go twice, and then blah blah blah. We get the point, right? Yep. But all right. So let me just get something situated here, and then we'll get started with this draft. If my computer wants to work with me here. All right. So my first pick in this draft, and I'm gonna go with. All right, Edward, do you want me to be specific with the item, or I can be broad with it?
You can be broad with it.
Okay. Vans shoes.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me a good one.
All right, Edward, what's your pick?
So I'm a copy off of you, but the Nike Capris.
Ooh.
I know you remember those because I used to have those. I used to play soccer with those.
Yeah,
those are technically the Nike slides, like
basically the competitor to the
Vans.
To the Vans, yeah.
Yeah, but except they were Nike and they were really comfortable. I played soccer with those every fucking day, or when I could, whenever I would take them to school. Shit, The color scheme sucked ass, but because at that point they didn't really have solid colors. They literally had like the fucking weird, colorful colors and shit. But
Mhm.
I fucking wore the shit out of them. I fucking colored on them and shit. I didn't give a damn. I was just like, fuck it, dude. I was like, I love the way they felt. Like it was just something quick to slip on.
Mhm.
And at the time, they were cheaper than Vans.
That's true. That is
So,
very true. All right, what's your second pick, Edward?
all right, so my second pick, and I know you remember this, the spray painted T-shirts.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
the spray painted T-shirts, the ones you go to the mall. You had like Bugs Bunny, you had like Lola Bunny, you had
The
hearts.
the custom
If you had your, yeah,
quinceañera ones.
yeah, the custom quinceañera ones. If you had somebody and you wanted to show that you were a couple, you'd go to the mall, have them spray paint it, or have somebody do it for you, whoever knew how to do it. You know, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
All right. I'm
What about
gonna
you?
I'm gonna go with a cousin of the spray painted T-shirts, and I'm gonna go with glamour shots.
Oh God! Oh, I remember those. The little pictures. The
This
little
is like
pictures
one
you
of
would.
the things that like you knew you were friends with a lot of people when you had a binder, and like I will honestly tell you, I would just put them in my fucking binder. Not that I really cared to like flash off all the pictures that I had. I just they gave it to me. I'm like, oh okay, and I just did that little plastic covering that's like between the binder.
Right.
So I would
I
just
know what you mean.
slide it in there and then just keep going. Like it's not like I was like, look at all these pictures of girls and these really edited the fuck out photos. Um,
They weren't
also,
really edited. It was just the background,
yeah, it was just the
like, and
background.
then the lighting.
Yeah. And then of course like kind of similar to the spray painted shirt. Like if you're in a relationship, you did one of these.
You would take. You know, you needed it because at that point, if you told your girl, "Nah, I'm not doing that." Oh, you already know you were out. You were out the door.
Yeah. So what a time. What a time.
Yeah.
And then my third pick, I'm gonna go with the rubber bands bracelets. Well, obviously, like the Live Strong and
Oh, I remember those. I used to have those. Not the Live Strong, but I had the Nike ones.
yeah,
You remember those?
and
Yeah.
like there was like a thing that like people used to say that like each brace like each color of the bracelet like meant you did a certain sexual
Oh, when it came to girls, yeah.
yeah like which was probably like the dumbest thing that we used to say that when we were younger. But yeah, but outside of that, it was something that I feel like everybody had on at some point.
Yeah.
Also, because like that was also like a marketing ploy too, right? Like some companies like would come in and give you that thing. I would honestly tell you, I don't care anything about Amex credit cards, but I had their rubber band bracelet. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Edward, what's your third pick?
So my third pick is, and I know this is probably gonna be, but the from the 2000s. Damn. Okay, when you would burn CDs and then you just write the songs in the front of the CD, making it look sort of professional,
So like a mix CD?
like a mix CD, I guess you could say. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Is
it's
that what you
no
want to
longer
call it, or
mixtape.
you want to say mix CD?
I don't know what you call it. I just know I use LimeWire.
Yeah, I mean I can say mix CD.
All right, that sounds fair.
All right. What's your fourth pick?
All right, my fourth pick. It's getting a little bit harder and harder. Oh, okay. My fourth pick is basically the Fast and the Furious trend that was going on where everybody wanted the imports and then like neon lights and customized sound systems.
So Fast and Furious car customizations.
Yeah, even though some people couldn't afford them.
All right. I'm gonna the image will be the skyline from Too Fast Too Furious for that one.
Pretty much. Because at first it was the Eclipse. Everybody wanted the Eclipse and the Miata, the Mazda that Toretto had.
Yeah.
Not the Miata, but the RX-7. But yeah.
All right, my fourth pick. Ooh, yeah, this thing. Now things are getting dicey here, but I am gonna go with the Motorola Razr.
Oh, damn.
That was like the phone. And then obviously I think the BlackBerry then took over. But the Motorola Razr was like the iPhone of phones at that point, at that time. But yeah, so I think that was a really, and I had that phone too. And then my last pick. Where do I go with this one? Trends from the 2000s. I'm gonna I think I might have to go with it, and it was the LED belt buckles.
Oh God. Don't. Really?
I mean, it was from our time period, man. As stupid as it was, but I know there was a lot of people that would, like, when they see that, like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might have lost the draft, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, what's your last pick?
My last pick. From the 2000s. Okay, here we go. Which, the thing is, I know for a fact this could have been even in the 90s, but I remember them from the 2000s. Whenever you would go to either the 99-cent store, the Washateria, or like any store basically had these. And they were like 50 cents. The stickers, either the homie stickers or the Mexican Aztec stickers or the Pokemon card stickers, like basically all those. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little vending machines that you would put.
Quarter machine stickers.
Like like those. Yeah, even in high school, bro, those were the shit. Even in high school, those were the shit.
Yeah,
okay. I don't see those anymore. And they used to be like the shit. People would have them in their binders. Some of them would peel them. Some of them wouldn't.
Yeah, some of them
would collect them. I know people had them collect them, like the homies. They collected those. The ones with like the Mexican, the Aztecs and the Mayans, stuff like that. Like, you know, depicting like the Mexicans. Sometimes some of them had skulls. Some of them had like, hell, they had the Yu-Gi-Ohs. They had Naruto. They had Pokemon, all of those. But yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right. Any honorable mentions? I can't believe we forgot about Hot Topic.
It still exists, so I mean,
yeah, I guess it doesn't really count. Pop collars.
Man,
that was the dumbest thing ever, but
believe it or not, I still know a guy that does that at work. He wears his polo
puka shell,
with the pop collar.
The puka shell necklaces.
Yeah, trust me.
I guess Abercrombie and Fitch, just in Aeropostale.
Pretty much. God, that's horrible.
You think you remember anything else you want to throw out there?
Not really. It's been a while.
All right. Yeah, so there's a draft. We'll post it out there on Instagram and Twitter so you guys can vote on who won this draft. I think it's anybody's draft, to be honest. But I think Edward seems pretty confident that he's gonna win this one. But all right.
Why? Because I asked did the thing for what you call it, the stickers. I think the stickers are gonna win it for me.
No, but obviously because you didn't really like my pick of the LED belt buckle. So,
No, that was horrible.
yeah, but it was during our time. But yeah, we'll see who wins the draft. I'm just happy I finally won a draft. But
Yeah,
I win the draft, but then Edward gets a like from Nick Swisher.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
Bro, first
So who
first
won?
it was
Who really won?
I think I went on that one.
Freaking first it was Christina Milian, and
Yeah.
now it's Nick Swisher. It's just like, Edward's just on a roll. What's next? Nike's gonna like this?
Right? Nike's gonna be like, hey, he said the Nike Capris. We're bringing them back. They're gonna
Fast and Furious
they're gonna-
likes this.
like freaking Vin Diesel's like, I'm gonna give you a ticket to go watch the last movie.
God, I mean, everyone's gonna be like, "Are we sure this is the last one?"
No, I'll be like, all right, cool. And then I'll be like, can I take Hector with me?
He's family.
There you go. That'll win him over.
Family. All right, well, we want to thank the Belly Up Podcast Network, man. Check out their website, Belly Up Sports. Lots of great articles are being written over there, so go ahead and check them out.
Their family.
Their family as well. Follow them on Instagram at X at Belly Up Media and at Belly Up Sports. Also, shout out to GolzTV, man. If you guys are watching us through GolzTV, I fucking love you. It is awesome. This is essentially the Hulu of soccer content. It is everything in just one stop. I don't know where I'm fucking going with this. It's a one-stop shop of all things soccer content. And right now, it's totally free to create an account, and you can just watch anything you want. You can watch original GolzTV content like Wake Up MLS, Yanks of the Round Table. You can watch, if you're an Atlanta United fan, they got an Atlanta United YouTube podcast that's there. You like FIFA content? There's guys that are dropping FIFA content there nonstop. Are you into sports cards? They got some there for you too. So go ahead and check it out. It's literally everything all in once for you. Just one place where you can just literally type whatever the hell you want, and it's there for you. I guarantee you. Go ahead and check out GolzTV. Go to Golz.tv. Also follow them on Instagram at Golz, GOLZ.tv, Golz.tv. And on the X at GOLZ_TV, Golz_TV on the X, formerly known as Twitter. And of course, we can't do our episodes without this person. And that is, of course, Roosevelt Spencer, the namesake of the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year award. It's dwindling down, Edward. It's dwindling down. We're almost near the end of the year where we get to announce the winner of the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year award. So we love him so much. We named the award after Roosevelt Spencer. He's amazing. He's a great guy. If you guys love the beats, the intros, and the outros of this show, if you've heard us do our singing bets and you're like, man, these guys sound halfway decent, that is all Spencer. So if you guys need some beat
even
work,
worse than that.
yeah. If you guys love the beats, well, hit up Spencer on Instagram at that guy dope. Once again, at that guy dope. He will take great care of you like he always takes great care of us. So once again, thank you to Spencer. We can never show enough gratitude to him. But with all that being said, man, thank you so much for catching episode 148. Catch us next week for episode 149, where we'll be previewing the MLS Cup playoffs with some special guests. So thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week.
Take care, guys.
Who is that guy?
I'm not ready to I don't